Some people are asking what's going on right now in relation to the chaos and the fear people's in their minds, and they're trying to get a deeper understanding really of what is actually going on, because a lot of it just seems out of control. And the truth is, it is out of control. Well, what we've been asked to do from a spiritual point of view, from a personal evolutional point of view, is to clean yourself up. Clean up your body, clean up your mind, clean up your life, and then together we can clean the world up, make it a better place for everybody to live in, without this fear. So, what are you doing to clean yourself up? We're being asked to step out of our minds and come into our heart. And this is the big message with all of the esoteric teachings and the spiritual movement, is to come out of the illusion of the mind and come back into the heart where it's real. And the mind can play illusions on us and tricks, and it keeps us locked in a loop, a cycle going over and over again. Round and round and round in circles we go. But when you're coming back into the heart, which is where your true essence is, you come back into a feeling, you come back into the now moment. You start to view life from there, rather than thinking you can solve it. There are some great minds out there that can solve a lot of things that are amazing. But as for a spiritual, personal healing journey, the best place is to come into the heart. You'll get your truth from there when you start to open it up a bit more. We shut our hearts down, we protected our hearts, and we put these barriers around ourselves and over our heart, and so we don't get hurt again. Because we only experience pain in a younger part of our life, or even a past life, or many past lives. And therefore we carried over the blockages over to this life. And then, we're born again into this life, and we just wonder where it came from, why I have this, because we lose our memory. But the seeker will try to find that answer, where it came from. And that's where the power of your healing lies, is in the seed, where it first originated. So you go back to that point in time or in a feeling, and then we can remove the seed cause of how you're feeling now. When that seed is removed, the blockage is no longer there. You can pull that back in, you can plant another seed about the same subject again if you want. But you've got to believe that it's gone and it's done, and move on. Because if you keep thinking about that was removed, you can then recreate it again. And comes as energy, and it will just find its way into your heart again. So yeah, let that go. Once it's been healed, and don't go back, don't look back, just don't go back there. So when we start to learn to open up our hearts, we start to remove the barrier that we put around there to protect ourselves, because we felt vulnerable, or we still feel a little bit vulnerable, and we remove a little bit of the barrier or the armour at a time, or the layer of an onion, peel it back to get to the core. You can't peel it all the way too soon because it hurts, and you have to go to look into the pain, where the pain is, allows your healing. So don't be shy of the pain. Don't be scared to look at yourself. You will judge yourself, but don't worry. That is a part of the healing too. And then when you realise it doesn't really matter, you forgive yourself as well. So come into the heart, come out of the mind, come into the heart, and start living, focusing, creating a new life from that place. You know, you'll find you'll get a lot more done with a feeling of being loved by yourself. It's very powerful. To love ourselves again. So yeah, going back now, so what is going on now? This is exactly why we're in a turmoil, and why we're all fighting each other, and why we're fighting the world and fighting the governments and everything. We want to be heard. This is deep down, it's this calling inside. And we're not standing for these games anymore. We've been hurt too much, too long. We're tired. Our souls are tired. Bored. Bored of playing fear. Bored of playing fear. There probably will need a revolution, and that is exactly what's going on now, because everyone's coming together and seeing the games for what they really are. People do need to come together. We all do. We need to come together and play our part in the WAR. That's another controversial subject. People don't realise that they're actually playing in a war. They let you do it to each other in your mind. So you go around fighting each other, attacking each other because of our opinions, because of our egos, because we think we're in control. Yeah. And the others, they think they're in control. No. They're not in control. We're not in control. Our Divine Mother is in control. That's the only one true control. But we can take back part of our control and start to live our life from a better place, rather than from the egoic mind. Our great mother, our Divine Mother, will work with us through our hearts, and she will let us take some control through our hearts, and then when we get a grip of it, she will release a little bit more, and then a bit more, and then a bit more, and this doesn't stop. And this is enlightenment all the way. It's all of our life purpose, you know. Not all of us are going to make it though. It's a long game. Those that do make it are paving the way for those that don't. For when they come back into a new body, the ones that have made it, show them again. And then eventually they make it too. What a wonderful world that we live in. I used to hate the world. I used to hate everybody in the world, because I see how fucked up it was. And I blamed them, and I blamed them. You know, until I started looking at myself. And I see my projections were going outwardly. I was feeling the pain of the world. I blamed them for it, for how I was feeling. I had a part to play with it, but I had a part to play in it, I should say. But ultimately, it was their reflection that I was feeling. Or my reflection, I should say, that I was feeling. And I used them as a scapegoat to how I was feeling. And that's pretty much all it was. And then I started to heal that and understand that actually I could feel better about the world. And I slowly started to understand it was only a choice of how I felt right then in that moment. You know what? And it still is. Still is a choice of how we feel in the moment. So you can choose to feel like down, negative, sorrow, regret, let that part of it go, heal that part of it, and then make a choice of how you really want to feel. Because I know how you really want to feel, because we all feel the same. We all want to feel good, don't we? We all want to feel better. We want to feel the love and this joy of life. Wake up in the morning with energy, zest, life force. But you know, it's always been a choice. I just didn't realise how simple it was sometimes. And from that, I can now create what I want, can't I? From my choices. I really can. But I've got to believe in myself. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that thought.